Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. So guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about the F-14B a little bit. It is going to be one of the last videos that I talk about it before we actually can fly it in the dev server whenever it comes out, the dev. I should expect to be soon, if not during this weekend, next weekend. Something along those lines. So yeah, expect to see it soon, in my opinion, I think at least. And I wanted to talk about if it is going to be OP or not. We already talked a little bit about that when we talked about it, the counters for it, if it has any, and we talked how the Su-33 would be the only counter for it. But even if no counters come, I wanted to talk about how it is probably going to feel in the game and if it's going to be OP. I think it is pretty much 100% the community is just divided with this right now. And I think people are just estimating or underestimating too much of the differences that these aircraft has compared to the A variant. Just remember, obviously, the main thing is the engine. The radar is the same. It has some minor things like extra bombs and stuff and laser guided stuff. And obviously, I think the main thing will be the extra, the newer weapons that we will see. So M54C, the M7M, and the M9L for now at least. So yeah, remember these, it feels like this aircraft is going to be the most OP thing ever for some people. But I really, in my opinion, I don't think it is going to be that. I mean, it is going to be one of the top dogs of the game, if not the top dog. It might be the best aircraft in the game, don't get me wrong. But people tend to forget that it is still an F-14. It's nothing too crazy compared to the other A, Yes, of course, it has a lot more power. And yeah, I think there is two factors that we need to consider. First of all, or three even, if you will. The first one is that the F-14A that we have in game, it doesn't have modern weaponry for the game's sake, It still only uses the M9H and he uses the older M54A. Not that it changes too much for the C, but still, especially the M9, I mean, it's obviously something that we need to carry about. And it's probably one of the reasons why, together with the thrust weight of that aircraft, why the F-14A is now at 11.7 and not at 12.0. It's definitely not the best aircraft in the game right now. I don't know why people say that. If the statistics, it's either or, right? It's either the statistics, you don't believe in the statistics that Gaijin has, that it's saying that it has an inferior stats or average, players and kill to rate, ratios and wing ratios and stuff compared to the other aircraft, and that's why it's 11.7. You either don't believe in that, or you don't, or you have to agree that there is some kind of weird American bias kind of situation happening right now, which I kind of disagree with, because if you think that the F-14 is so good like that, why is it at 11.7? So it doesn't make any sense. Of course, it doesn't mean that the aircraft cannot perform better than the MiG-29, the Ak-41, and F-16s, depending on the pilot. Of course, it depends always on the pilot to use the weaponry and the aircraft for its maximum capabilities. And compared to, if you have a very good pilot flying an F-14 compared to a mid pilot flying all these other fourth generation, you will see that the F-14 still can fight it. But it's not by any means the best aircraft out there right now. And I think the F-14B will be that, or if not that, very close to it. And it is just going to hammer down the two other problems that I wanted to talk about it before when I told you about the three problems, the three things that the F-14A has compared to the F-14B, right? Which is the thrust weight, man. Not a lot of people think about this too much, but the thrust weight, the climb, the extra engine that the F-14B has will make it so that it is going to be better than the A in the BVR. Is it going to be better than the MiG-29 and stuff? We don't know, we have to wait. I still think that the R-27ER is more reliable to get kills than the AIM-54, but still it's with an AIM-54C, which is already a better missile, together with the better speed and performance that you can climb better and just overall accelerate more to get the missile in the proper, resolution for you to fire, it will help the BVR. And also, the last thing I want to talk about is obviously the thrust rate also helps in the continuous turn, making it so that you actually can maintain a good speed and just overall more energy in a dogfight, right? So all of these, yes, they are going to be factors that contribute to the F-14B to be the best aircraft out there in the game right now. But it isn't a god. It isn't something that will completely break the game. At least in my opinion, I don't think so. I mean, it's still a very big aircraft and it has its drawbacks. It's just that one of the main ones that the A had is kind of fixed with this, which is the engine power. So it becomes kind of an aircraft that it is a proper fourth generation F-14, if you think about it, and that will make it so that it's a proper 12.0 aircraft. So I think that's pretty much it. A lot of people are underestimating or they're complaining that it is going to be too OP. And I think it's not going to be either of those. I think it's going to be right in the middle. It's going to be very competitive. As I said, maybe we don't know yet, like meta-wise, we have to wait until the game is actually with the aircraft and in the matchmaking for you to actually have an idea on how it performs against the other fourth generations. But in a general sense, it is going to be competitive. And it is probably going to be one of the best, if not the best aircraft in the game. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be like way, oh my god, it's so OP, It's so much of that I mean, I might be completely wrong and we have to wait, but I don't think even we will see a counter to the F-14 for the Soviets, because they already have the Yak-41 and the MiG-29, which are indeed light aircraft, lighter fighters and completely different design and stuff and carry less missiles and stuff. And there is an argument there that the Soviets never got their heavy fighters yet, they never received the Su-15, they didn't receive yet the Su-27, So, yeah, we only are going for a lighter fighter kind of situation. But still, even with that, I still think that the MiG-29, the Yak-41, and even the F-16, even though all of the other aircraft will be better in the BVR against the F-16, even the F-14B, obviously. Even with that, the F-16 will still be competitive, the MiG-29 will still be competitive, and yeah, we might see a problem of a lot of F-14s in the game, which we saw exactly 1 year ago when the F-14A was added, and that might be the real problem, which was my opinion when the F-14 was actually added. If you remember, if you are here from 1 year ago till now, I had barely 1,000 something subscribers, but still, if you are here since then, you would have seen that at that time I was talking about the same thing. The F-14A was not exactly OP, but the problem is that there was so many F-14As, and the MLD, which was the main thing that could counter the F-14, barely any players played it after the F-14 was added, because everybody wanted to play the F-14, right? So we might see something like this happening, because we already saw what the F-16 is compared to the MiG-29 in numbers. The F-14 will be much, much worse. So we might see a problem of that, not per se of the F-14B being OP, but more of they have a lot of missiles, they have a lot of players, and the MiG-29 and other aircraft are limited to 2 or even 4 with the Yak BVR missiles. And then in the BVR, I mean, the F-14 would just dominate because of the numbers. And then in the dogfight, I mean, it doesn't matter too much. And it's probably going to be all mixed for, I don't know, 1 month at least after the patch is released, just due to the F-14. Which is kind of odd. And I really think that they should add some other aircraft that are top tier for some nation to try to pull this effect from the US. But I don't think they will be able to do that. I don't know. We have to wait. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Do you agree the F-14 will not be that OP or be bad, that it will be one of the best aircraft in the game but not OP? Or do you think the F-14 will be the most OP thing ever? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe. Bye.